Canada's retailers have recovered from a bad December, posting a slight increase in sales in January. Let's check in at the Toronto Stock Exchange with Kristiaan Yeo, who's standing by with the details. Kristiaan.
Yes, Michelle, January saw a slight improvement on December's retail sales, which was quite a slump in December, and that topped off a fairly stagnant second half of 2012. Sales went up by about 1% to just under $38 billion US. The main driver of that, auto sales. Ironically, though, one of the worst performing areas, or the worst performing area, gasoline sales. Now, the reason that motor sales have gone up is not because more people are buying cars, but because the price tags are going up. Things are costing more here. That's forcing consumers to shop around. Many are finding themselves buying online. Now, that change in behavior here is forcing the retailers to reposition themselves to maintain their audience share.
Shopping. You'd think it was a competitive sport here. Every weekend, hordes of eager spenders step out and shop until they drop. It's as much of a race for the companies vying for consumers' money, and the leanest competitors tend to have the edge. With fewer overheads and international reach, internet retailers have gained the advantage over their bricks and mortar counterparts. It's no surprise that more retailers are focusing on the web. But as companies slim down their physical footprints and beef up their online presence, many internet retailers are making the opposite move. Paige Boersma has gone from fashion blog to Toronto boutique in just 5 years. Through online sales and pop-up stores, she tested the waters before entering the old-fashioned retail scene. It was a big risk and an expensive one, but she says it's paid off.
We do have those customers who want to experience the environment of our shop and kind of have that face-to-face connection with our sales staff and be able to touch and try on and really build those connections. But there's stuff online that you can't really do in-store, so it's really about kind of integrating those two together and finding that perfect balance.
Even eBay has trialled bricks and mortar stores, a sign that almost any company can utilize a showroom. And with countless success stories from the internet's best-known marketplace, the barriers to entering retail appear to be fading.
I think it's way easier to start a business now than it was a few years ago because you're able to interact directly with your customers online and get an understanding of what you should be selling, who your customer is, and there's just less risk. It's still scary, but I think there's definitely less risk nowadays in retail.
The internet has had a huge impact on shopping, no one questions that, but far from being the death knell for Main Street, it could be its saviour by giving would-be traders a chance to try retail out for size.
So you can see the internet as sort of retail with training wheels for any would-be traders. Of course, most retail is leaning towards the internet. Most companies want a bigger presence online because it's cheaper to turn a profit there.
Kristiaan,
For areas of retail that are less hinged on price, for perhaps bespoke products or one-offs, higher end of the market of retail, there's always a place for a retail store, a bricks and mortar store.
And Kristiaan, how much of Canada's consumer trade would you say is being done online now? What percentage?
Well, it is difficult to say from these figures that we've got today because they don't break down how the money was spent. You can't tell whether it was spent online or whether it was in person. Those figures or those details come out in a couple of weeks' time when we get the annual retail figures. What we do know from past history, from the past year's results, it hasn't recovered since 2008 when the global economic downturn took effect and every country really saw a sharp decline in consumer spending. But that shows essentially that although the internet makes it easier to shop, consumers will always find ways to save money when they need to.
Okay, thanks very much for that. Kristiaan Yeo reporting live from the Toronto Stock Exchange.